CBS Sports HQ is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Back here with Richard Johnson and Brad Crawford, here to talk winners and losers. Brad, who's your biggest winner from Saturday?
Biggest winner for me is Kirk Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers. They were top 15 heading into today, and they beat Nebraska by 49 points at home. It's a game that I thought the Huskers, with an extra week to prepare, would actually give Indiana all it could handle. But, man, Curtis Rourke injured in the first half, did not play the second half for Indiana at quarterback. Taven Jackson off the bench, 2 touchdown passes. And this Indiana offense right now, guys, is pretty unstoppable. And the rest of the schedule, I mean, it's Michigan State, Washington, and Michigan before Ohio State. This Indiana team right now, unbeaten, looks like an 11-1 caliber offense.
Yeah, Kurt Cignetti said it was a thumb injury, didn't look too bad. And obviously Kirk Cignetti, with one of the all-time quotes a year ago, "I win," when he was asked about recruiting and getting recruits to Bloomington, he said, "I win, Google me." That's a drop the mic line. Like, just walk off the set, "I win, Google me." Who's your winner on this Saturday?
My biggest winner's got to be Georgia. I mean, the way that they came in, you can tell that they took it personally, right? Kirby Smart's already said that he was giving them some bulletin board material. The spread got out to as much as Georgia as a 5-point underdog at times this week.
First time they were an underdog in 3 years.
It got out really, really far for them. I absolutely think they took it deeply, deeply personal, the amount of hype that Texas's offensive line was getting. Joe Moore Award winning this, all that type of stuff. No, Georgia's not having that. Georgia's not having that with what they do up front, with how physical and violent they are at the point of attack. They came into this game to prove a point, and they very much did. The last time they were on this big game stage, they did not acquit themselves very well. They got the 28-point hole. Wasn't going to happen tonight.
51 straight wins against teams not named Alabama for Georgia, and their first road win against a #1 team in school history. So that's a big win for the Dogs, also a big win for the Hoosiers. As for your biggest loser, Brad, who disappointed you the most in Week 8?
It had to be Alabama. They were a road favorite at Tennessee. That got up to about 3.5, I think, before kickoff. And Jalen Milroe just had 2 big mistakes, one late in that game, throwing the game-ending interception. Bama couldn't hold a lead. I thought Alabama had a chance to take a 2-touchdown lead late in the second quarter there at 14-0. Didn't get it done. And Kalen DeBoer, man, through his first half season at Alabama, just has not coached too well here in the SEC. And the last 3 games especially, 1 and 2 there, giving up 29.3 points a game. This Alabama defense, I know it's been worked these last couple weeks by Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and now a bad Tennessee offense. It's just not looking good for Bama right now, and I do not see how this team still has a path to the playoff, not the way it's playing right now.
Brad and I are simpatico on this pick. I'm also taking the Tide. It's just Alabama had to prove to me that they were not this team that has just been scraping by. You lose to Vanderbilt. You don't do well against South Carolina. It's South Carolina team that you're better than at home. And they come out here and they lay an egg again. They prove that the only thing that they really have on offense, Jalen Milroe's legs and Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is an incredible player, but force-feeding him eventually, defenses are going to catch on. And now, where I really think Alabama loses is because the veneer is popped. It's done. Tennessee couldn't beat this team for anything, and they finally got over the hump a few years ago, but it's... the air of invulnerability, invincibility, I should say, that's done. That's popped.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tide fans have been spoiled, right? I mean, they've been spoiled. Like what Nick Saban did there, won 6 national titles. For anybody to step in, that's not normal. Josh Pate went on a diatribe about it. It was really, really good. I would encourage you to go watch his show as well, 3 times a week. And look, they have been set up to win all the time with Nick Saban. And then your first season with Kalen DeBoer, he gets his team to a national championship. There's going to be growing pains. Do you circle this, though, more on coaching or lack of execution?
I think it's a lot more on the lack of execution end. Again, I tend to like, particularly the way Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama staff approach these big games, but the execution piece has been lacking. Again, in the South Carolina game, Jalen Milroe is directly responsible for 5 South Carolina points in that game. Again, today in this game, interception in the end zone, interception to end the game effectively in the fourth quarter. It's an execution thing more than it is a coaching thing for me.
Well, unfortunately, Jalen Milroe's Heisman stock has dramatically decreased, and he's not really even in the running for that award at all. Boise State's Ashton Jeanty is the favorite to win the Heisman. Boise State on a bye. Then it's Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, who's worked his way back into the conversation. They played on Friday, shut out Purdue to remain undefeated. Two-way Colorado star Travis Hunter didn't even play in the second half against Arizona because they wanted to be cautious. I get that. And Miami quarterback Cam Ward, who threw 4 touchdowns, survived against Louisville. Those are your top 4 guys coming into the day. Brad, who improved his Heisman campaign the most on Saturday?
I think it all came together today for Cam Ward. I mean, we mentioned Boise State star Ashton Jeanty had a bye, did not play. Travis Hunter missed 2 quarters. And then Ward, man, that first quarter throw there to Jacoby George in the back of the end zone was one of the best throws that I've seen a college football quarterback make this season. Cam Ward, another 300-yard game, 4 touchdown passes. And he's done it all, guys, like playing in slow motion almost from the pocket and getting outside. I mean, he just plays under control, whether he's under duress or has a clean pocket throughout the season. Right now, he's the best player, not only in the ACC, but the best player in college football at the quarterback spot.
To me, sometimes you win when you don't do anything. And I think Ashton Jeanty sitting on the couch, I hope he's got plenty of ice and plenty of water, and he had himself a nice, relaxing Saturday. I think his Heisman stock raises considerably. I think that, you know, there sort of can only be one guy in New York whose Heisman candidacy is divorced from his team's performance, and I think that's Ashton Jeanty now. You know, Travis Hunter had to continue to be doing his Herculean feats on the field, which is playing on average more than 130 snaps. It was just an incredible thing that he'd been doing coming into this game. But Colorado did the right thing by sidelining him in the second half. The game was very much in hand. As much as they want to get him the Heisman Trophy, I'm sure, they're talking about winning football games and keeping your best player as healthy as possible. You know, racking up box score stats and fun graphics to put on TV is not really the object of the exercise for Colorado. So I think Ashton Jeanty absolutely solidified his Heisman case, and I think unfortunately it's because Travis Hunter sat the second half today, and so Travis Hunter's Heisman case gets lowered because the proposition here is he plays pretty much every snap in the game on both sides very, very well, I might add.
Cam Ward, Ashton Jeanty very much in the race to win the Heisman Trophy. Richard and Brad here on CBS Sports HQ breaking down their winners and losers. Jeanty leads FBS with 1,248 rushing yards, 17 rushing touchdowns this season, on pace to break Barry Sanders' FBS single-season record for rushing yards. On pace as well to tie the FBS single-season record for rushing touchdowns, 37, also by Barry Sanders. But it is Cam Ward and Ashton Jeanty atop the board here as you take a look at the odds to win it at plus 230. Cam Ward, the first ACC quarterback with 2,500 passing yards and 25 touchdowns responsible for in the first 7 games of a season since 2000. Man, the race is heating up here in week 8 of the college football season.